1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz.
Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins and Trevor.
Is more indefinable, really. It takes a lot longer. But suffice to say, we're talking about that initial impression that we get of somebody, which may make us think, you know, how do I ever consciously think about the impression? Not even with people necessarily you want to meet, but if you go into the shops or whatever, doing anything, does it bother us? Do we think, oh, I hope people think I look a nice person, or I'm looking good today, or whatever? I don't know whether we go out thinking like that, but I suppose we all have a certain standard of how we dress when we get dressed in the mornings, what we're going to wear that day and so on, depending on where we are. What I've always found is when I used to work for a living, not so long ago, I was working in finance, as my career, really, and I often had to give talks to business people or to staff, sometimes big crowds of people. And I'm glad to say I've never, as you can probably tell, I've never had a problem with public speaking, in the sense I don't get particularly nervous, whereas some people list it as one of the big phobias, you know, the idea of talking in public. Well, I've always been okay doing that. But equally, you do sometimes get, when you had quite a big crowd of people, you get some stage fright, you get a bit nervous, inevitably. But I always found if I was well prepared with what I was going to say, with how I looked, if I dressed for the part, you know, nice suits, expensive shoes, throw that one in there. If I felt good, and I think people do, I think we all grow into what we are. If we're trying to be something in a certain situation, whether it's a party, whatever, we're trying to impress people, as long as we are well prepared and we look the part, I think that confidence we're talking about is there. It comes. Whereas if we go to something not properly or appropriately decked out for what we're going to, that confidence can drain away a bit, because you think, oh, I'm the only one with this on, or doing that, or not looking very smart, overdressed or underdressed. So again, all these things count as to the impression we give to other people. And I think in conclusion, the only other part of this I would throw in is that apart from the things that, we might make a judgment on people very quickly and when we hear them and so on, apart from that, I think there's such a thing as gut feeling, which is not so easy to measure or research, is it? I do think, because I have experienced it sometimes, that you can sometimes feel almost an immediate connection with somebody who you meet, even if it's somebody, you know, you might bump into them in a shop like that woman this morning. And I'm not saying that was an example of this, but there are times occasionally where you meet someone, you bump into someone, and you feel a connection, which you can't really define, but it's there. It's almost like, to be romantic about it, I suppose, it could be like a meeting of souls, that almost soulmates, that maybe you've been in a life before this, in another life, that you've met before. Sometimes we do get that feeling we've met somebody before. And I'm going off at a bit of a tangent here, but I'm just saying, I think, some spiritualists, mediums, think that we have an aura, a colour around us, which sometimes we can't see it, but we can perceive it, even if we don't realise that. Whereas...
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.
Wednesday afternoon. Hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Cuz does. And fund the aim of everything Cuz does.